Welcome to Super Simple Security Principles, where you learn how to think, not just what to do. I'm Nick Jackson, here to learn along with you from my good buddy and master guardian, Makani Mason. Let's go. This is episode 87. We're going to continue on with our email workshop today. Priority, eliminate spam. That's right. Last week, reduce stress. This week, eliminate spam. That should get the juices flowing right there, right?
Yeah.
Woo-hoo-hoo. What I would do without spam.
Yeah. I would say this one, I think, some of the later ones, not everyone might have a higher priority, but I'll be surprised if there's anybody we talk to that isn't this isn't a high priority for.
Right.
Although, there might be some people who have kind of conquered it, because I feel like in terms of spam, I've more or less beat it. Requires a little bit
Yeah.
of ongoing effort, but I really get almost no spam, and so, but I'd love to compare notes with anybody who has a system too, and open to any systems within our current email system that help us defeat spam. So
Yeah. Absolutely.
especially if it's just a tool you can kind of plug in, that's always
Right.
so, because there are some of those that look like they promise anyway that we'll be exploring. So we'll see how it goes,
Excellent.
but so the two introduction things I want to say about spam, though, and why this is a priority, other than the obvious, right? I mean, nobody wants spam. Don't really have to sell that too much, right?
Mm-mm. Shouldn't have to.
But I think it's more, it's like, it's not just a nice to have, right? It's a
Right.
huge security increase. And we'll get into a little bit more details on that in a second about why I say that. But the second thing I want to say is it's possible. I think a lot of people are resigned to the fact that spam is just, it's like in the death and taxes category.
Right? That's how I feel about it anyways.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we've just gotten so used to it. You deal with it all the time that's the only way you can kind of cope. It's just okay. It's just the way it is. But I'm here to tell you, it might require a little bit of work. Might even require a new email address. Might require, we'll see what it requires for you.
Right.
But it is absolutely possible to defeat spam. Now, I can't guarantee you'll never get another spam in your email box. I do get some spam in there. But as I've talked about before, I have gotten around 10 per year
Yeah, that's
in
pretty good.
recent years. So, if that's a worthwhile improvement to you, then hey, you can do it.
Yes.
So anyway, that's by way of introduction. So security increase. This goes back a little bit to what we talked about last episode, because of course, one great way to reduce stress in email is eliminating your spam, right?
Yeah.
I
Yep.
mean, if you think about, I mean, you tell me if you think differently, Nick, but I would say that typically spam is the number one cause of that stress in email,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay. So, and for all the same reasons that we talked about last week of how stress helps improve security, that's here, because this is the single biggest way, I think, to reduce stress, but it's worth talking about individually, and bears repeating,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So the other security increase, of course, is that most phishing, not all, we talked about the story from Kem's accountant, where that phishing attempt came from an account that he knew had just been
Yeah.
taken over, but there's a huge amount of phishing that just comes in from people, non accounts that you know. Does that make
Right.
yeah, right?
Right.
So if we can eliminate spam, what that means is we're going to eliminate most phishing attacks on you. You won't have to be smart, have common sense, whatever. You don't have to like defeat most phishing attempts if most of them you don't ever see,
Right.
right? That's a big win.
Right. Huge win. Huge win.
Yeah. So, plus the other thing is like, if you do eliminate most spam and then one comes in from someone that you do know, like it's going to be a lot easier to identify. Just like with Chem, they had a method for sharing files that the Fisher didn't know about, didn't mention. So even if it does come, like those are going to be easier to identify as phishing because you know that person, you know how they're going to talk, you know what you exchange, and if they're coming in from an account that's compromised, they're not usually going to sound like the person that you know is supposed to be on the other end of that email.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So,
Oh yeah.
okay. So what I'll say next is that eliminating spam is dependent on two things.
Okay.
One is the tools that you use. Okay? I mean, obvious,
Okay.
right? But here's one thing that's not so obvious is email providers are not all identical. Some legitimately have better anti-spam tools. Okay?
Yeah.
In
Makes
my
sense.
in my opinion, Fastmail, for example, is one example. They have some better anti-spam tools than Gmail does.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not even talking about like the built-in spam detection that all email providers do. There's some variants there, and of course, Gmail's a bigger target because um, they're the biggest email provider and things like that. So there's other
Right.
factors as well, but I'm talking about the actual tools that you have control over, filtering and just a lot of things where they're just not all identical. And
They're
I
not
think,
all equal.
yeah, I think a lot of people aren't aware of that.
Yeah.
It's
Well, a
like,
lot of times that's all you think is I'm just going to use this email to correspond. You don't realize that some are built differently.
yeah, well, and it kind of goes back to the whole death and taxes thing too. I think we've just when you get in the mindset that spam is unavoidable, then you don't look for solutions.
Right.
It
Right.
doesn't
You just
matter.
deal with it. Right.
It doesn't matter what email provider I use because I'm just going to get a ton of spam no matter where I go, right?
Right. Right.
But it doesn't have to be that way. So, and this goes back to the paid thing too. Even the add-ons or whatever, like you can do some stuff, to fight spam with your free tools,
Yeah.
but you are going to get what you paid for, so to speak. Like you're going to have some better spam tools if you're willing to pay some.
Yeah.
And I hate to beat that drum because I know free email is so universal, so many people count on it, so people want it, and I get that. But email is just such a part of our modern society. I mean, I think about it like a phone line used to be. You
Yeah.
know, I mean, yeah, certain everybody would love to have a free phone line. That was never a thing, right?
Right. Right.
Um, and never's going to be a thing, or maybe it was in the very, very early days. I don't know how that worked, but my whole
Right.
lifetime anyway, phone hasn't been free, and it's crazy to think it would be. And so I don't know. To me, email is the same kind of thing. Like to expect it to be free when it's such a foundational tool. I don't know. I'm not saying there shouldn't be free email for anybody, but um, yeah, I just think it's worth it to invest a little bit of money into a paid email account. That's my take. So
Get what you pay for, right?
yeah. So the other thing though is, and this is good and bad news, is fighting spam is also dependent on you, not just the tools, but it's dependent on you,
Yeah.
and of course how well you use those tools, either free or paid.
Yeah.
So there are some things you're going to learn, about reporting spam, unsubscribing, setting up filters, training the system to know how to fight spam for you. There's things like that. And my goal, though, is even though I've promoted the paid tools, definitely my objective to help you, whatever tools you use, to use those most effectively to fight spam.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's all I got. What's your thoughts now, Nick?
Do you know what? Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I like the fact, this is where I'm going to kind of focus in the last little bit, is the fact that we're going to eventually have to take the fight to spam. We're going to have to do some things ourselves. We have to be proactive. We can't let the threats get into our email box and do nothing about them. We have to be reactive, and we have to take charge and take a stand. And so using these tools, maybe that's getting a paid tool that helps you fight this. Absolutely. But you're going to have to literally take charge too.
Yeah.
So those are my thoughts.
Yeah. Thank you. Well, and this is something I'm never going to get tired of saying is, I think that it, these email problems, the spam problem specifically, even we'll just isolate, it should be solved at the system level. Like this should not be a thing in email, unquestionably. And I want to solve that. In the meantime, I'm going to do my best to help solve it within the broken system that we have.
That sounds awesome.
It kind of makes me, I don't know, it's weird to me sometimes to think like, it's universally hated. Why is there not more work? Like, why hasn't somebody already solved it? Like, it is solvable. Why is there not more work to solve this problem? And I'm not sure what the answer exactly is. I mean, I know it's inertia, there's factors, whatever. But anyway, I'm hoping that, yeah, my dream is to solve that. So
I love it. Good dream. Awesome. That was a good one.
Yeah. Are you ready to take action and wondering where to start? Get my Bulletproof My Identity Starter Kit for free. The 7 most vital layers of protection everyone needs. I'll send you one step at a time and help you if you get stuck. Just go to bulletproofmyid.com and enter your name and email, and I will send you the first step. Again, that's bulletproofmyid.com.